That's what we should do. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm Scott Rouse. I'm a body language expert and analyst, and I train law enforcement in the military in interrogation and body language. And I created the #1 online body language course, bodylanguagetactics.com, with Greg Hartley. Mark?
I'm Mark Bowden. I'm an expert in human behavior and body language, help people all over the world to stand out, win trust, gain credibility every time they communicate, including some of the leaders of the G7. Chase.
Hey, I'm Chase Hughes. I did 20 years in the U.S. military and published the #1 best-selling book on persuasion, influence, and behavior profiling, and I train people in those things today. Greg?
I'm Greg Hartley. I'm a former Army interrogator, interrogation instructor, resistance to interrogation instructor. I've written 10 books on body language and behavior, put together this #1 bodylanguagetactics.com course with Scott, and I spend most of my time on Wall Street and corporate America.
All right, we have a really interesting episode for you here. Greg and I had a chance to talk to Dawn Wells from an investigative point of view, and we did what's called a non-confrontational interrogation. So when that's going on, a lot of times you don't even realize that's what's happening, and that's what we got a chance to do. Mark?
Yeah, a little bit of context behind this. Dawn Wells came directly to Scott and asked for this interview. We didn't approach him. He approached us and specifically Scott around this. So trust had been built up through Wells watching our show. He earmarked Scott as the person he wanted to confide in. So that's how this all came about. Chase.
Yeah, so Greg and Scott were the only two of us that were able to make it up there for the interview. So we sat down, prepared for this in advance, and made sure the questioning was on point, and on the interrogation or interview, whatever you want to call it, maybe a tactical interview, was going to go really well. Greg?
Yeah, so what you're going to see here is not an interrogation like the police would do to get a confession, nor is this a TV interview. This is something very different. We want you to pay attention to it. We'd call it an investigative interview.
Right. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
What you're about to watch is an exploratory interview or a discovery interview. Scott and I went to talk to Dawn Wells with one purpose in mind. His stated purpose is well. That's to get as much information about Summer Wells out as possible. Again, this is not an interrogation. Interrogation means I have control over you. I can make you sit and do whatever I want you to do. This is an investigative or discovery interview. And if you watch, what we're going to do is we'll establish some rapport. We'll get the guy talking to us, and we'll get to a comfortable position where he talks. Now, what we're going to do here is show you the entire interview as it unfolded. What we're not going to do here is to analyze. We'll be back. We'll be back with future episodes where we analyze his baseline. We analyze any deviation from baseline, and we show you what we see and our opinions. And it will be all four of us. So hang in there. We just wanted you to see this interview as it unfolded. We got water because I need it. Talking all week.
Oh, man.
We do this usually at home, so we're not sitting in front of other people's cameras. I got some computer cameras sticking up in front of my face, so it's easier to do than sitting in front of this and all the lights.
Yeah. So I know it's weird. So today went okay, you think, for the news people?
Who'd you talk to?
Channel 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've been the guys who've been there before?
Yeah.
The British-sounding girl of South Africa?
No, they sent different ones out. I've met her before.
Yeah, I remember she had a weird accent for Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't speak very well, of course.
Oh, no, you're
fine.
We're Southern boys.
Yeah. So we're the same
I'm trying.
spot.
I mean, I've been through a lot of trauma when I was younger, and so I've had a lot of problem dealing with that kind of stuff. Feeling less than human kind of thing most of my life, you know.
And Don, I think the piece that you want people to get is that you want people to know who you are, because the way we talk is, I always say, you'll hear me say, we are what we come from and what's made us successful to now. Right. So tell us a little bit about you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a little bit about me. Yeah. I pretty much raised up in the county jails and prisons and stuff like that, but that's where I found God. And I feel like he raised me, it's hard to believe you find love in a place like that, but I did, and people that had respect, and I found brotherhood, and, people that, very few, but there's a few that would, want to read scriptures and do the same kind of thing, and tried to get away from this kind of life and go to a godly kind of life, but there are a few, very few though.
Right.
It's tough. It's really hard. And when you can find that,
Yeah.
it changes everything. You
Yes.
know, forever.
Changing my life
Forever.
for sure.
Yeah. So how long ago was that?
Well, it's been a long time since I've, been in trouble, but I've seeked out, churches and stuff, that like the Seventh-day Adventist,
I know I've heard you say you lived in Utah, and there's a different animal out there.
Yes, yes.
So did you deal with the Zion Curtain and all that?
Oh man, yeah. If you're a Mormon out there, you're fine,
Right.
But if you're anti-Mormon, the Board of Pardons in Utah is almost all
Oh.
Mormon.
So if you're in jail there, you're a Mormon.
Yeah, the Board of Pardons and Parole. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think just living there. But yeah, where'd you live?
Ogden,
Okay.
Roy area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pretty area.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it and I miss it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what I think is good is to talk a little bit about your background,
Yeah.
and I don't mean jail
Yeah.
time, but talk about where you lived and where you were, and because that gives people your speech patterns, what's made you, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've always had really good jobs out there and stuff. But for whatever reason, my parole officers, they never liked me. I had a job at Hill Air Force Base at one time, making really good money, had security clearance out there and everything. And they showed up out there 2 carloads deep. And my boss come to me, he's like, I can't use you no more, man. And they got me fired. And that's the kind of, that's what they, yeah.
What were you doing then?
I was doing construction.
So were you working for a general contractor? Or?
Yeah.
I've been in construction business. The reason I asked, I ran construction for a couple of years. So yeah.
Yeah, just we're doing drywall, what I've always done,
Yeah.
Metal stud framing or whatever.
How long ago was that?
That was a long time ago. When I finally got out of that mess, I left the state as fast as I could.
Right.
I haven't been back.
Where'd you go from there?
I went to Arkansas. That's where I met my wife. And then my mom got sick, so we come out here. And,
Your mom lived here?
Yeah, she was sick, had MRSA. And so we come out here to try to help her, and she, died. And so, but she left us the property, but we've had, 4 kids since then.
Yeah. How old's your oldest?
12.
And Summer's your youngest?
Yes.
Do you have your kids back? I know you went through some trouble with that.
Well, it got real dangerous at our house because of, and I'm not using that for an excuse, but it did. It got real dangerous because of everything that was happening on YouTube and the psychics wanting to come on our property.
Yeah.
And we was telling them, no, you cannot come on our property.
How are they contacting you?
Through Facebook and stuff like that, whatever, and other people. The whole YouTube, Facebook thing was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And people were trying all different kind of things. And then I found out, they were making all kinds of fake accounts and contacting people in Utah, and they were saying stuff back and forth. Probably a lot of stuff wasn't exactly true, or just making this whole thing keep going and going and going. So it got pretty bad and scary for a long time.
That's tough. That's
quite
tough.
a
People
while.
you don't know showing up.
And there
wanna
was
talk to
some-
you.
It's dangerous, actually. On lots
Yeah,
of
it was
levels.
dangerous,
Yeah.
and I didn't want my boys there.
Yeah. You don't know who's coming up.
Right.
I live in the middle of nowhere for a reason.
How old are
Yeah.
the boys?
Huh?
How old are the boys?
12, maybe 10, on down to 8, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're all, is Candace the mother?
Well, there's a gag order on the boys. I'm not supposed to talk about them.
Okay.
And they're in custody.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're okay, and you get to see
Yeah,
them.
they're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can
That's
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I went off the deep end. I
Did you?
I
Oh, I can totally understand.
I started drinking and other stuff and just lost it.
Well, I think it's a hard thing to deal
really
with. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm back on track. I mean, no
Did you get
drinking,
some-
no nothing.
Did you get a prescription or anything for some help to keep you
No.
calm? And
No,
yeah.
no.
Okay. All right.
Nobody can make you feel better about what's going on, but
Right.
we want to make sure that you get whatever you want to say out today too. And I know people have asked you your whole stories and everything else. How long you live where you're at now?
about 12 years.
Okay, so most of your kids were born here?
Well, Josie was born in Arkansas, and then we moved directly here.
Okay, so the rest of the kids are born here?
Yeah.
So that's their home, that's what they know.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough on some level for them to go to.
Yeah.
So, and I have no idea about your house or how it's set up or anything else. How do you get to your house?
How do you get to my house?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean from here, don't give me directions, but I mean, you're up a road somewhere, I know.
Yeah. I don't understand what you...
Yeah, so are you isolated? You can't really tell about the pictures.
It seems isolated, but we do have neighbors, you know, and then you got the drug thing going on. And where we live at, you got certain groups of people, and I'm not going to mention them by name, but you got these boys and those boys, they're all related, and they think that they run everything. And a lot of people for years have run moonshine out there, probably manufactured meth and other stuff like that, and they think that they are the Bloods and the Crips of the hillbillies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have, where I live, there's something very similar. We call it the cornbread mafia.
Yeah, and that runs from here to through Georgia.
Yep. Down Georgia.
Yeah.
Cornbread mafia.
And they take that name and that title very seriously.
Yep. So have you had problems with them personally?
Well, we've always tried to stay away from that kind of activity and stuff, and stay in church and stuff like that, and stay positive. So I always felt like they looked at us as a target. And we've had people steal our dogs and leave their mutts for as long as we've been there. We've had people come up and just take various things, steal our gas in the middle of the night or whatever, and there's only certain kind of people that are up all day and night, stuff like that.
Yeah. And how close to you are they?
I say they're all the way around, but I don't know. I mean, I just know a few people, personally, but...
Is it easy to just drive by your house, come by?
Well, they have to go by my house to get to one area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of traffic out there?
Yes, and when things are, when stuff's going on, there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah. How close is the house to the road?
Our house?
Yeah.
We are Ben Hill's just down the driveway there, and then Beach Creek's out in front, but you'd have to go across the creek to get to...
Do you think that from your door to the road is it 100 feet, or is it 50 feet, or...
150 feet.
I bet you're pretty good at guessing distance when you're doing drywall.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, we can see all the, if you go to our front door, our back door, or whatever it is, we can see all the way down Beach Creek one end, and you can go to the other side of the house, you can see all the way down Beach Creek the other way, because we're on a hill.
Right. So can you see cars coming and going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And can they see up there easily, or is it?
Yeah.
So if you're coming up the hill, how long before you can see your house? Is it hidden from other people, or is it?
You mean our driveway?
Yeah, your driveway.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of trees and shrubs and stuff like that, but in the wintertime when all the leaves fall, you can see pretty clearly. Mm-hmm. But right now it's secluded, more secluded. But
have you ever had any scares before? I mean, around your kids and that kind of thing?
Well, we've had people come up, and say, oh, yeah, I was looking for my dog or my horse or, or various things before.
Were the children in the yard, or?
Yeah.
During that?
Yeah, I've had people come up, on horses, all kinds of things, And
when was the last time that happened?
You know what? Since summer's been gone, we haven't had nobody around there except for, we had that one incident with the red truck that got hung up on the ditch there.
Right.
And there was actually, I asked the police if I could take pictures. He said, no problem, Mr. Wells. And I was taking pictures of the side of that truck, and some woman popped her head out, and I was like, wow. And she just covered herself back up and laid back in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when was the last time before summer was missing that you had people up at your place? That somebody showed up, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. It's probably been a long time, so I can't really remember. But I'm always gone. I'm always working. And I don't know these people, but I mean...
Does Candace know them? Or is
no. I mean, all I know is the people I work for, and they've become like they're the only ones I know.
So is Candace there all day with the kids?
Well, if they weren't in school, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when we started getting involved in the Seventh-day Adventist, Robin and stuff would invite them to go do this and that.
Who's Robin?
She's the one that would hold summer in church all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they was always going and doing things with the church whenever possible.
Yeah, other people from the church come over and help?
Yeah, David's been over a few times, our pastor, and David Dotson's been over a couple times.
Does Dave ever babysit or anything? Is he
No.
He just
No, nothing like that.
No.
Well, we let him take the boys to the putt-putt golf course when all this first happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just
That's
to try
a
to
good time.
help us out and stuff.
How long have you known him?
Well, he come from another church, and he just kind of popped in and got to know Summer a little bit before she got gone, and then he met some girl in some Baptist church and started going, I guess, to church with them.
So he would come over and hang out with her and play with her and stuff?
Well, no, not until after she disappeared.
Oh, so she didn't know him very well before that?
Well,
or
she met him a few times. Summer did, and Candace did, and they got to know Robin and everything.
But mostly at church?
Yeah.
Was there a daycare thing at church?
No, I mean, no, not a daycare. No, but they do have their own private school.
Did your kids go to that private school?
No, we was trying to get them into it. Yeah.
They go to public school?
No, it's a private school.
Okay, they're going to
Oh,
private.
yes, sir. Yeah, they do go to public school.
Okay, yeah, and you were just trying to get them into that private school?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
is there a waiting list or something?
No, it's
Just
about money.
Oh, yeah, no, I
what
get
else
it.
you can-
Yeah.
I get it. I was a soldier. There ain't no money in being a soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
But they teach them a lot of good Christian ethics and stuff like that.
A lot of
and I
Sunday
wanted
school. How long was the church? How long was the Sunday school part? Like, do the kids go to Sunday school?
that. Yeah, no, it's Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what do y'all call
Baptist.
that?
DA.
Yeah. What do you call it? So it'd be Saturday school?
Yes, sir.
Do they really?
Well, we would go every Saturday to church.
So they call it Saturday school? Or is it just church school?
Well, yeah. They always say Happy Sabbath, because
Yeah.
that's the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
Well, how long
Shabbat.
does the Saturday school last for the
And
kids?
we'd be there at 9:30. Well, we got our first class. It runs about an hour and a half, and then we go to the big room together.
And the kids are separated from everybody?
Yeah, at the first class, and then we all join together in the big room and
So they have different, I guess you got different teachers
yeah,
for stuff.
like Robin and other ones that teach the younger ones, and there's a lot of kids there that are extremely happy.
Yeah. How many classes are there, do you think?
Well, you got your younger kids, and then you got your, I'd say there's about 3 or 4 different classes and age groups.
Are all the girls and boys that are at Summer's age are in the same
Right.
class?
Yes.
Who teaches that class? Do they have a
I can't remember her name. I know Robin. I think maybe Robin teaches the youngest ones.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
she was her teacher?
I think so. Yeah, and that's why she was so proud, to give Robin that little yellow necklace and the bracelet, and
Yeah.
so proud. to
And
give
Dave
that
was
to her.
the preacher at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did he ever teach him or anything? Did he ever do
David,
Yeah.
our pastor.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about David.
Okay, you got David Dawson, then you got David, our pastor.
David the pastor, yeah.
The pastor. He teaches the adults, like I would go to his class,
Yeah.
and my wife, the older ones, and he's got an awesome class. Love it, absolutely love it.
But never kid, you never work with the youth group or anything?
Not the pastor. I don't know what he teaches in their school.
No, yeah,
I'm
right.
not familiar with that too much. I've been there, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
So who else did you guys interact with aside from the church? I mean, I know you were not home much, and I would talk to you a little bit about that.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Really nobody, because drywall takes up pretty much all my time.
Sure. Yeah. And you drive a fair amount?
Yeah, up to work, yes.
Okay. How far away do you work from?
Well, it depends. I might do a house in West Virginia somewhere.
Oh, gotcha.
Or it might be anywhere.
Yeah.
My next house is coming up, and on Boones Creek up here.
When the incident with Summer happened, when Summer disappeared, where were you working that day?
Let's see. I was in Jonesboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonesboro, which?
Yeah, Jonesboro.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
don't know this area very well.
Yeah,
How far away is that from home?
Well, it takes 45 minutes to get from there to my house.
Okay.
And So up 81 all the way, and that's where I was working. And previous to the day someone come up missing, I fired a guy because he was extremely out there. And,
What was he doing?
Yeah.
he was
about
just
that.
out there.
What kind of out there? I mean, I know you got to be careful.
I think meth.
Okay.
I can't prove it.
Did he take that well?
No, he was extremely mad.
Did he know where you lived?
Yes.
And have you heard from or seen him since?
No. Our investigators have talked to him, and he's talked, I guess pretty well. But I mean, the day after Summer had come up missing, he called my boss, and he was crying and saying some really oddball things. My boss has a really good memory, so he remembered every word of it. And,
Like, what was he saying?
like, my kids, let's see, the hills have eyes. I got too close to that family. What was the others? I got too close, and my kids can't see me in the back of a police car again. See, he worked for us 7 years prior, and he went through all the different crews. And he worked with me for a while, and it's kind of the same thing happened.
How old is he?
He's like 36 now, I'd say, something more than there.
You don't know where he is, huh?
Yeah, I know where he is.
Had he'd been to your house with you?
Well, yeah, I had him come to my house and park his vehicle so that we could ride together all the way out past Chucky, way out there somewhere, past the airport, way out there in the farmlands.
I know where that is.
Way out there, yeah. So we rode together way out there and done a little house and rode back. But, I just noticed he started getting irritated and just every little thing. This man, I give him 50%. Who does that? Right. Give him 50%, and all he has to do is show up every day. Mm-hmm. And he starts, coming up with excuses why he can't make it to work and stuff, and giving me trouble. And then the day I fired him, he was, doing a pan like that there, okay? Mm-hmm. And he spent probably 2 hours on it. Well, it should have took 20 minutes to coat that with mud, first coat. And we were supposed to do something else, and he just jumped on that, and he was speaking under his breath and just carrying on. And then he comes to me with a pan of mud, and he says, "There's all kind of trash in there, get it out of there, and give me some different mud." So I was like, "All right, okay." I threw it away and got him some fresh mud, and he come back at me again. He's like screaming at me, "I told you, did you put it back in there or what?" And
You're familiar with that kind of behavior for somebody on drug like that? Would it seem like that was the kind of behavior?
I looked on YouTube of all the behavior that somebody on meth would have. The only one I can remember is hyperactive.
Sure.
But but he was screaming at me, "Just go home. I'll take care of this job. I got this job. I'll handle it by myself," or whatever. And I thought about that, and I went to lunch. And I come back, and I told him to leave. Get off the job. Don't want to work with you one more second. And he didn't like that too well. And then he called my boss with that, what I was telling you, what he was saying and stuff, and called him probably 100 times. Tried everything in the world to get me fired. Told him all kinds of things. And I told Jesse, told my boss, I said, "See, that's how it is every day."
Yeah.
So how many times had he seen Summer before?
A few times, and my wife was concerned about the way he was looking at her. She had red flags about that.
What did she say?
She said that he was just kind of looking her up and down, like, it bothered her.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned that to me before all this happened. So the very next day, she comes up missing around 6:30.
So when did you leave your house?
When did I leave my house that morning? I'm not sure. It might have been about 7:30, 8 even.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And this, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay,
like I said, I need you to. I know they might be pushy and painful at times, so just take it for what they are. When was the last time you saw Summer?
That morning when I woke up, because she was sleeping in between me and her mother.
Okay. Did she wake
And
up?
I was kind of laying on her foot a little bit and stuff, and I was like, my back,
Yeah. Did she wake up?
Did she wake up? No.
Okay.
No.
I was wondering what she said to you, the last thing she said. What are the last words she ever said to you? Do you remember?
I'm not sure if it was that night or not, but I remember, clearly, I was like, Summer, you got to sleep in your own bed. And then she come back with big old crocodile tears in her eyes, and she said, but Daddy, I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Painful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I know. But they can't sleep with you forever. They can't sleep with you forever. They
No.
gotta grow up
And
someday.
that's how kids grow up, is by you
Yeah.
doing that. So you didn't do anything wrong.
No,
here.
no.
And we
Yeah.
want you to know that.
Well, it's interesting. The other day, all this stuff going on, when it was so bad, everything on YouTube was so bad, I was begging God. I was like, Lord, and I was on my knees. I was just at the end of my ropes, and I said, God, I just want to be with you. And that thought came to my head, just like that, of what Summer's, and I just started crying.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And not knowing is tough, I'm sure. I can tell you from experience, I feel where you feel.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for you.
Well, God's in full control.
What did Candace say about that morning? What was she doing?
I hadn't really heard from her except for she had to go to town to fill her mom's prescription. And so I called at some point because I was going to go home, and she says, well, we're still got to wait for the prescription. And
What was she getting?
something for her mother, I can't remember.
You don't know what the prescription was?
I can't remember. But so they was at the lake, and then Hunter and I guess they went, she called and says, come by the house, and then she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so they could swim a little bit.
Yeah.
Seen them videos, and then I took her back, and they said everything was okay in that situation between now.
Yeah.
Which situation?
Sir.
Which situation, sorry?
With Hunter, Allie, and Candace, I took Hunter to the lake. Everything
Right.
seemed to be
Yeah, I saw the little
okay.
video of them playing in the water.
Yeah, everything was
Yeah.
fine.
And then what happened?
Well, when Summer, when they went back home and everything, and then, now I wasn't there, of course,
Right.
but according to my wife's story, which I believe.
Yeah, you ever had a reason to not believe it?
No,
Okay.
and with her emotions, she's this close to going off the edge.
I'm
So
sure
it's bad.
I'm sure
it's
hard.
bad.
It's hard.
And so there's no way in my mind I believe her.
So, and you said you were talking about Hunter?
Hunter and Allie and
Yeah.
all them had a
good
great
day.
relationship up to everything was fine.
And then?
Everybody's happy, and then so she goes home, she gets the groceries out, and with her story, washes a load of clothes and everything, and they plant the flowers, and she gets a piece of candy from her mother or whatever, and they wash their hands. I guess they had some water on the tailgate of the truck, a gallon of water there, and they rinse their hands off and everything. Summer wants to go in the house, and the boys are in there, video gaming, of course.
How far away is Candace from the house?
About
at this
25
point?
feet. Her trailer's about 25 feet from her trailer to our door.
Mm-hmm. What's the trailer about?
What's that, sir?
What's in the trailer?
What's in the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, grandma and all her
okay.
It's a travel trailer,
all
is
her, yeah, travel trailer.
Okay.
All her stuff,
So the boys are
Sorry,
playing.
I'm thirsty.
Sir.
So the boys are playing with the game.
Right, they're upstairs playing the game, and and my one son told me, that Summer wanted him to go down and play with toys with her, and he's like, no, Summer, I'm playing this game, I'm not going down there. So she goes down there by herself. As far as we know, that's the last she was seen was by her boys.
So she went down there, and there's two ways into that room, right? Down the stairs,
Right.
or a back door.
Right.
How tall is the back door knob off? You probably know.
Well, she could open it, no problem, I'm sure. But the boys would always leave that door open all the time, and we'd tell them, you got to keep that door locked. But they would leave it wide open all the time. We'd go down there, and the door would be wide open. or unlocked.
That's common.
Yeah. And,
What's right outside the door there?
What's outside the door?
Yeah.
The driveway that goes by, the small piece of, small porch, and then the driveway that circles around, and then you can see that generator right there, and that dog trail that I wasn't aware that dog trail was even there, but it goes straight down to I could pick up a 40-pound sack of potatoes and go down that trail probably in about 12 seconds.
Okay.
So all the way to Ben Hill Road.
Could somebody drive around the house and you not hear him or see him? Or
It happens all the time.
they could drive around that back door there?
I've went and drove all the way to the top and honked the horn, and nobody can hear me. Like, come and help me get groceries.
Yeah, okay. So what about this dog trail?
TBI. Well, can we back up to?
Back up to where.
Back up
this
to.
is for you.
Well, at some point, Allie and Hunter and then find out that Summer's gone. They completely flip on us, on Candace. And I don't understand that, and start making all these crazy accusations and everything else, and
What were
all
they
this.
saying?
I can't remember everything that they actually said.
What were they?
Did you talk to them directly?
No, they won't talk to me. They won't talk to Candace.
What were the ideas? I mean, what was the concept of what they were saying? What were they saying? She did something, or?
I really can't remember. All I know is they really turned on Candace big time and flipped on her.
Right then.
Right at that point, yes.
Had they had any reason in the past to have? I mean, people that live close to each other sometimes get it on each other's nerves. Had that happened at any point?
We never lived close to each other. We just invited them out for their kids' sake because their kids don't have a father, and they're troubled kids. They live in the city. They can't get out and play like they could there or anything else. And we don't understand why Allie and Hunter flipped like they did at all.
But what did Candace say they said when they flipped? Was it?
I wish I could remember, and I wish she was here, and I wish I could answer them questions. They're all on YouTube, and I can't remember what all it is because they made all kind of videos. I know they was in the parade. Our church made a banner for Candace, and it was in the parade, and I was walking down there, and Allie and Hunter was in there going, ha ha, they got your daughter, ha ha.
Who got your daughter?
That's a good question. Who's they?
What
Who was they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got your daughter. Who was they?
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
How old are they? Are they?
Hunter's just like 14, and he's always come up and given me hugs, and always been really, and
Has he been that way with Candace as well?
yeah, and always was, everything just seemed fine up to this point.
What about Allie? Same thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And who's Allie?
that would be Hunter's mother, I think.
Thought.
And there's Sherry, and we just don't know why they flipped suddenly like they did. And I can't remember all the hateful things they said. I just don't remember, but I know it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone loses their kid, and then for them to say a bunch of hateful stuff like that on top of it, it's just like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I know that's
I don't
That's
understand why that happened.
and it began immediately.
Yes. And then
Where were they when that when
I guess they was at their house, but we know we give Truey, one of their daughters, a dog, a puppy, and next thing we knew, it ended up back up there.
Oh,
So they brought it back up and dropped it off.
Right.
afterwards.
Yes, after it got grown and they didn't want it no more.
Oh, so this is after.
That's before summer.
Before summer went missing,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I got you.
So you drove from, I'm just trying to get my head around
Right.
what kind of gap you have in time between the time you saw her and the time you got back.
I probably made it home in half the time it normally would because I almost lost it in one curve. And I was able to pass in double yellow line all the way without hindrance of any kind. I was able to fly. Didn't get stopped one time, or didn't have to slow down not once. So I know I made it in probably at least 25 minutes.
Were the cops there when you got there?
I think there might have been one or two cars, if I can remember right. But when I first come to the house, I knew they was looking all over the top of the hill. So I drove straight to the bottom property and down to the creek. And I noticed my neighbor walking this way around the hill, and I seen my 3 boys together on this side of the hill, and my heart just sunk right then. I knew she was gone. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew she was gone. Because I knew, and it's 25 minutes later, and nobody's found her. She's gone. So I turned around, went back up to the top, and I think there was 1 or 2 cop cars there, if I remember right. And they started asking all kinds of questions. I kept trying to tell them she's gone, she's not here. And just like I don't know. And then more cops kept filtering in. And then we had all kind of people with trailers and stuff and SUVs, and they literally blocked Beach Creek, bottlenecked Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road. You couldn't go nowhere.
How much time had passed from the time you got the call till that happened?
From when I first got home, and then I'm talking to the cops up there, and then, another 20, 30 minutes, and everything just starts getting bottlenecked. You can't even leave there.
When did you see Candace after all? What was the first time you saw Candace after you got this news?
When I first pulled up there, she was freaking out, and
yelling, screaming.
Really kind of funny. I look back on that. I had her on Messenger the whole time. Never lost her. That's really odd to me. Because in that area.
What do you think caused that?
That's a good question, because I don't know how I could have kept her on Messenger, because she got in her mother's truck, drove all around and asking people, because I watched her. And she was driving her mom's truck. I had her on Messenger. And she was driving all in the area, looking everywhere for her in her mother's truck. And I don't think I lost her the whole time, all the way.
What was the first thing she said to you in person, though?
So I says, when I seen her, I can't remember, because there was cops questioning her and cops questioning me, and probably trying to keep us apart, probably.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So what do you, I'm going to ask you some questions that are just out there. What do you think happened? I mean, what do you think happened?
I don't know, I just think it's so weird and odd the way Allie and Hunter acted after she got gone. That just blows my mind right there. That's very suspicious to me. And the way that McDonough got involved with them.
Who's McDonough? Right.
Chris McDonough. Chris McDonough got involved with them, and the way that he played into their lives like they were gold. That blows my mind. Literally.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And I don't understand that. And okay, sir, you have to get me back on the right train of thought.
I got you.
No, we want your thoughts. And I told you I'm gonna have to ask you some hard questions.
Yeah.
So what do you say to somebody who says, no, you're involved, your family's involved? How do you respond to that?
Well, for 3 months, I spent on the phone for 3 months. I accepted every friend request there was. People want, well, I'm your friend, we can look for you. And, for 3 months, I stayed on the phone day and night trying to find her baby, because I figured Facebook's the best tool possible to help find her. And but there's this group on Facebook combating us the whole time, and we don't know who this group is or what they're up to, but it seems like they're trying to throw everything off.
What were they saying?
All kinds of stuff. Creating drama, trying to throw the blame our way. No, you did this, you did that. And,
What's Candace doing this whole time?
The same thing.
Yeah.
On Facebook. She might have been a little smarter than that, but I reached out to Facebook and YouTube and stuff to help find Summer, and they crucified us. Yeah. And so I'm out of it now, but for 3 months, that's all they did. So we didn't get no sleep the first 2 nights at all, and stayed up all night on Facebook. We don't know who we were talking to.
Yeah.
Could have been the police, could have been the kidnappers, could have been who knows who.
So you feel like she's been kidnapped, huh?
Oh, for sure. But by who? Don't know.
Why do you feel like it's for sure? Why do you feel like it's
because she would never leave our property. She would not even leave around the house, because there was times when she was younger that she would just take off running, you know, at the church, especially. It's like, Summer, you can't do that. There's bad guys and stuff like that. And we'd.
So have you talked to her about how to talk about those situations? Does she understand stranger danger and those types of things?
Yes. I mean, I think we got her pretty well under control as far as that goes, you know, especially around the house, because like, Summer, there's bears, there's bad people, there's wildcats, there's wild dogs, and we just keep going through the list. And so she would never go far.
Yeah.
And even when her brothers, we taught her brothers to, if you're going to go down to the creek, you have to be together at all times. And we bought them each a pocket knife. And so they might go down the creek as long as we knew where they were. But she might go like halfway down the hill to watch them, but she wouldn't go all the way with them. She would stay at a safe distance, and when they started coming up, she would come up to the house first.
When she'd go off by herself, and let's say she'd get in trouble, when she would get in trouble and do something when she wasn't, did she mind? Did she mind?
She minded well. I've never had to discipline her or anything like that. I could just say one word to her, and she would just break down in tears. I'm like, Summer, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry.
What about Candace? Is it the same kind of relationship there?
They had a great relationship. Well, when Summer was born, she only wanted me for a long time, and if I come home from work or something, she would not want her mother. She wanted me. She just wanted me for first 18 months or so. And I never expected anything like that.
Yeah.
But Candace, so I'd be at work all day, so Candace would take her to the park and all kinds of stuff. She got to spend all kind of time with her, that's where all them pictures come from.
Yeah.
And she was proud of her, and she built a good relationship with her that way.
Did she, when she didn't mind Candace, did Candace punish her or discipline her?
Never.
Never?
No. I mean, the worst we've ever done is like, with our boys, really. Summer just...
What do the boys do?
The boys will fight a lot.
Yeah, everybody spanks their kids. Everybody does that.
Yeah, for sure.
But the worst, we'd make them do timeouts. Yeah, you have to go over there in the corner, no TV, no nothing, no games. And that's the worst thing you can do is pull the games from them.
That's tough.
So every family has drama. Every family has drama. I mean, if somebody tells me their family doesn't have drama, I'm surprised.
Right.
So tell me about yours. What's the worst drama you ever had? I mean, I'm going to probe just because.
Our worst drama is probably related to drinking.
Okay.
Candace and me drinking, and that it can escalate and stuff like that.
Does that lead to violence ever?
Violence? I mean, there's been some violence, yeah, but I got in trouble here a while back over that stuff, but I was the one getting beat up.
Okay. So, how long ago was that?
When I first come back from Utah, we had Allie left Jose there, just dumped him off there and left him.
And who's Allie?
Allie and Hunter.
Oh, that same people.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
She wanted to be with that Jose guy, and she just dumped him off at her house. And
who's Jose?
He's just some guy that I don't know where he come from, but.
And how long ago was that?
I don't know, a year.
So it's been a year ago. There's a guy named Jose. How well did you know Jose?
Sir?
How well did you know him?
I don't know him at all.
So he stayed at your house for a while?
He stayed at my house while I was in Utah.
Okay.
And my wife was trying to make me jealous, so I'd come back, and it worked very well. So I packed up everything in Utah and come back, and I flew across the country in my little truck and got back, and we was having a few drinks one night, and we almost started fighting, but he was calling me a cheater and said I did this and said I did that. And
in your house?
And every time he'd say something, my wife would push me. He'd say something else, my wife would push me. She just kept shoving me. About the, fifth or sixth time that she shoved me, I had a beer bottle right here. And so I pushed it out of the way, and I grabbed that beer bottle, and I was going to hit that guy.
Yeah.
But instead, I just threw it somewhere else. But so they called the cops, and So one thing led to the other when the cops get there, and they told them I had a gun in the glove box, which I did. I said, yes, sir, I do. It's a black powder gun, and which I'm allowed to have, but just can't have it in my vehicle.
Right.
And I kind of forgot about that. But to me, with everything going around in our area, it was the safest place and most effective place to have it. Is something happened to one of our kids or something.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we realized alcohol and all that stuff's not good. And
Where were the kids during all this?
Probably downstairs.
You think
sure.
when you say probably, they were, or you just weren't cognizant of it?
I don't know where they were exactly. Yeah, I don't. It was later in the evening, so I'm assuming they're downstairs watching a movie or something.
Okay.
How'd that resolve? How'd that get fixed?
Oh, they took me to jail. My mother-in-law told them I put real bullets in the gun, so I was facing 10 years, mandatory minimum.
Wow, that's tough. How'd that get resolved?
I had to hire the crazy thing about that whole thing was I'm facing 10 years minimum mandatory, and I said, Your Honor, please OR me. I'm begging you. And that man OR'd me.
Wow.
I know.
So what's an OR for someone
folks that
watching?
On recognizance. No bond, just
Wow.
promised to appear, and I couldn't believe that, but that man OR'd me.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Yeah. You got blessed.
Yes.
Somebody's looking out for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was able to get a gunsmith. They told me to get a gunsmith and show them that was a black powder gun, which I was able to do. So they dropped it all down to a misdemeanor, and I was so happy. I was like, please, let me sign it before they change their mind.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that didn't fix the problem with you and Candace, though.
Well, no. That night, Candace's mother told him to pack his stuff up and get out of there and leave. And so she hauled him out of there that night.
And how long ago was that? About a year, you said?
Yeah.
You seen him again?
Huh?
Have you seen him since?
No.
How old is he about?
I have no idea.
20s, 30s, 40s?
40, yeah.
Has Candace talked to him since?
No, she didn't want nothing to do with him. It's just, she was just trying to make me jealous to come back home.
Okay.
Because I was trying to talk them into moving back to Utah.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do. I had a good job up there, and I wanted to sell the property and move back up there, but she didn't want no part of it. So she won, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
Yes, it is.
But that's fine. As long as she loves me, that's all good.
So did this guy have anything, did he ever interact with Summer?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm sure they did. I mean,
How long
I
was he
don't
there?
know. I have no idea. Allie, when I went to Utah, they went out of state, but Allie and them wanted to spend some time with them, and they moved, all their kids in there for a few days and had their fun or whatever they did. I don't know. And so everything was fine up to the point that I don't know what happened between Allie and that dude. I have no idea. But she dumped him off there and left.
So I'm going some more hard questions for you. Did you have anything at all to do with your daughter's disappearance?
Sir?
Did you have anything to do with Summer's disappearance?
No, sir.
Do you have any idea where she might be?
I wish to God I did. If I did, we'd go get her. I'd call TBI or whatever and say, look, I did this, I did that, I messed up. Can we please go get her now? I would have done that a long time. I would have done that day one.
Do you have any
No
reason?
point in lying.
Do you have any reason to believe your wife knows anything?
No, I don't think so at all. She's too tore up.
Do you think she'd tell you if she did?
Yeah.
If she been in a state where you could ask her that and she may not remember if you were.
I've asked her many times, what about this? What about that?
What about what?
Like what about her mother? And then this or that, and what about this person? Her mother's ex lover, some woman. I asked her that the other night, and she's already in an old folks home. No, she loved her daughter. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. So what do you think happened to her?
She was kidnapped.
Do you think there's something that you did that caused somebody to behave that way?
Well, with criminals, you don't really have to do anything.
Right.
And I don't, this has been brought up before. Maybe I owed some drug debt or something. I'm like, I got money in the bank. I don't need, no.
Who would think you have a drug debt?
I have no idea. Well, this is what TBI asked me.
Sure. They're going to look at every step.
Right.
Yeah. So you're in the
And
impression.
at that time, I had $3,000 in the bank. Why would I?
Yeah. So you think somebody got her?
For sure.
How would they do it, do you think?
Well, it'd be easy enough to sneak up that dog trail and stay hidden in the tree line. You wouldn't hardly be able to notice anybody there, especially if they had camo on.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even see them. And they just have to wait for the right second for someone to step out that door or go into the basement or whatever. Our neighbors, at that time heard a scream, and she thought it was a really weird scream, like somebody had her mouth covered the whole time, and she was trying to catch a breath, kind of a scream. She could scream loud.
How close was that neighbor?
Well, from the bottom, from Ben Hill Road down there at the bottom, their driveway is directly across from ours almost, and it just goes straight up to their hill, and we live on this hill.
So you don't think Candace would have heard that?
No, because I can pull up in our driveway and honk the horn, and they can't even hear that if the TV's going inside and everything like that. So Candace is inside the house searching, looking, going through the basement and everything else. So where's Summer? And
But I mean, when for the scream, so the muffled scream, she wouldn't be able to hear it from the front yard, but they could hear it.
Well,
across
if she was outside, yes, but if she was inside, no.
Was she outside or inside?
Well, we don't know for sure. She was looking all through the house, everywhere. I'd say she's probably inside.
But when the scream happened, do you think?
Probably. Because if she would have been outside, she probably would have heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything about Candace's story that makes you question the story?
No, not the way it played out and everything like that. I mean, yeah, you always have questions, and I ask myself, but the way that it happened and her emotions and her state of mind.
What were the questions that you had?
I mean, I don't really have any. I mean, I don't really have any questions. I mean,
did you talk to your boys about what happened?
the questions, yeah.
Go ahead with that.
My one boy feels bad because he didn't go downstairs and play. And I was really down one day, and my other son comes and he says, "Dad, it's not my fault." I says, "I know, son, I know it's not your fault." I had to tell him I was sorry for whatever way I was acting,
Sometimes you get upset when you get a lot on your mind.
Human, part of being human. It's tough.
So when you had questions for Candace, let's get back to that for a second.
Yeah.
So what were you?
Mostly about Allie and Hunter and their family and the way they turned on us suddenly. After, as soon as Summer got gone, they turned on us, and I don't understand that. And I don't know the whole story. And I wish she was here, and I wish she would answer these questions.
Yeah.
Because she knows firsthand. I don't.
You got to remember something. Tell us. You got to tell us something.
I don't know. It's like they blamed us right away for her disappearance. Like we'd done something. You did something to your daughter or something to that effect. I can't be sure word for word, but I know it was something to that effect.
Yeah. I know you've been talking to everybody on the planet, but there's got to be what usually solves problems is what else? What else do you know that you haven't said to anybody? Or what else do you know that we haven't heard?
Yeah.
Such as?
We don't know. I mean, that's the whole point. There might be that one piece that somebody can put a story together.
I don't know.
Is there a part you haven't said that you've told me a couple of things on the phone?
Yeah.
You've said a couple of things. Maybe there's some things you haven't said to somebody else that you've told me. So think of the things the reasons you think she might be missing, or what may have happened.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to make my stepsisters mad or anything like that. I want them to just leave me the hell alone. But, so they said they never knew Summer on YouTube. They never knew anything about Summer. And so the day that this happened, the very next day they called TBI and say, we know what happened to her. Her daddy did this to her, and the daddy did that to her, and then he probably got caught and killed her and all kind of stuff like that. Yeah. That was the first thing ever said. And then they said that both my nieces said that I did some horrific things to them for 7 years straight, and told them if anything was ever said about it, that I would kill them. Mm-hmm. And they let this ride the whole time for 70 some odd days before they clarified and straightened it out. That, I mean, these were horrific lies. So when these lies first come out, I had women calling my phone, screaming at me, "Did you really do this?" Right. I'm like, "Do what? You know, what are you talking about?" Who
are they telling this to?
Me.
I mean,
and how'd they get my numbers and other questions?
Yeah, the stepsisters. Who are they telling this to?
I guess groups in Utah, Facebook, and doing videos on YouTube.
Have they been here though? Have they been here where that could have happened?
No, they did this all from Utah.
Well, where do they get information? Do they have any information, or are they just saying whatever?
They're making up some horrific lies about me. So I barely know my nieces.
But have you been around? I mean, when they're saying these things happened, were you around in that time?
No.
So they weren't. Have they been to the house?
No, they've never. No.
Have you been to their house?
I mean, I barely know Trish.
Yeah.
I barely know her, I do know Amanda a little bit, but just.
Have you
barely.
been to their house?
No, I've never been to their house. I've seen them.
You've been anywhere with them other than?
I've seen them at my dad's house.
Okay, for how long a period of time?
I don't know. I mean, not long. I don't know them that well. They were little kids. I mean,
you got along with them though?
I don't know about that.
But when they were little kids, you knew them. That's where you got to know them when they were little kids, I guess.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah.
How much interaction do you have with them?
Well, see, not much, because you got my side of the family, the Welleses, and then you got the Simonsons. Those are two different entities brought together by. Okay, my stepmother is my babysitter. Okay, so we've known each other our whole lives, and you know, when we were little kids, it was really good. My stepbrothers and stuff, we played together all the time. We done everything. It was good, you know, and even with our stepsisters. But I don't know what happened when. I mean, me and my stepsister have had some issues. She wants to play innocent. That's fine, whatever. She can play innocent. But you know, when we were younger, we done what little kids do.
What is that? Some stuff we talked about on the phone.
Huh?
Some of the stuff we talked about on the phone.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, you know, little kids do stuff. You know, they do.
No, when you're a kid, you're learning, you're exploring. That's a whole different world. There's a whole different time. Right. So people change.
Right.
You remember 1 Corinthians is when I was a child, I thought as a child and I understood things as a child. But now that I'm a man, I understand.
Right.
You know the whole.
Absolutely.
So I'm with you on that.
Right.
But did you love them? Was there love in that family?
There was, you know, when we were younger and stuff, and then you know, as we grow older, it seems like everybody started growing apart. A lot of hate. I don't know, you know.
When were you around the nieces? When were you around them that they would even have a chance to say any of that? How old were they?
How old was
the nieces that are making up stuff?
When I was, you know, with them, I mean, I want you to understand that they've already clarified that I've never done any of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I've never done any of this stuff. So they've already said that on YouTube.
Right.
They made it clear, finally.
Yeah.
You know, okay. But when I did know, you know, Trish, she was probably, I don't know how old she was at that time. She was just, I mean,
little teenager,
10 or something.
Okay, 10.
I don't know.
Is this during any time when you were having trouble with law or drugs? Or?
Well, I was pretty much raised in the county jails all my teenage years. know why. You know, when my parents divorced, my family was good when my parents were together, but when they divorced, my dad, you know, married my babysitter, and my mother married some dude from Kentucky, and both, in my opinion, you know, I know my stepmom tries to love me now.
Yeah.
I feel she's been good to me. She's trying to be a Christian now, but before they didn't want me around.
Well, when y'all were little, and let's get back to that for a second, and because you and I talked about a few things on the phone. What was that relationship like back when you were kids, though? This is the same people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What relationship was that?
Your relationship with your stepsisters.
When we were little, I mean, it was good and everything, you know, and I don't know. But like I say, you know, me and my brother Randy, we done a lot of stuff together. We'd go skating rinks, everything.
What about the stepsisters, though?
As far as they were good when we were younger.
Yeah.
You know, but as we got older, you know, things started changing. I don't know. I just feel like they didn't really want me in the picture. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to.
Is there anything that happened when you were little that made them? Was that stuff that we talked about on the phone? Was that maybe happen, and that's why they split up? Well, is there anything else you want to clear up during this before we?
At all.
Yeah, anything at all
that I can think of.
Yeah. So as we go through this, we can say, do you know where Summer is? Do you know where Summer is?
I don't know. I wish I did.
Do you have any earthly idea what happened to her?
No, I wished I did.
Do you think Candace had anything to do with it?
No.
And what about this? And you think what might have happened to her was what?
She was kidnapped.
Yeah.
Who in your life would you, if I ask you who in your life might have done it, what would you say?
I'm thinking one of the meth heads down the road that come in there filtering in at certain points in time looking for her. I don't know. I don't know if my stepsisters in McDonough could have possibly caused something like this, because that's another theory I have. Mm-hmm. Back to my stepsisters, they said they never knew that we had a daughter. And when they found out that she was gone, they all of a sudden freaked out and like, oh, we know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And they called TBI the very next day, and they put all the focus on me. TBI was asking me about all this crazy stuff. And
They have to do that, for sure.
Yeah. So they took the focus off the real perpetrators right there.
Yeah.
And and the way everything played out on YouTube and the whole 9 yards with Chris McDonough, knowing they're full well lying. You can't believe that stuff. I know Chris McDonough don't believe it, but he played like he did.
Right. So you've got some past. You said recently you've had some drug and alcohol things. Maybe have you? Who in your life would you think is less than above board that you deal with?
Who in life has been above board?
Yeah, who's less than above board? If I was saying,
not nobody that I know of except for our neighbors and stuff. You know, I mean, the guy, the meth heads and stuff like that, and whatever like that. I mean, we're trying to fly right, and we're trying to do the.
No, I get
right
it, man.
way.
Life is. I would say life is a challenge between being this and what is underneath.
Okay, and let me back up for a minute with the stepsisters. They said they never knew we had a daughter. 2.5, 3 years ago, I called my dad, and they were there. And they were bragging, you know, they was asking about Summer, and I was like, yeah, you know, and so they said they named one of theirs Winter. So they knew. They lied when they said they didn't know.
Why would they do that?
Why would they? That's a good question. Very good question.
When was the last time you talked to your stepsisters?
That one time when I was at my dad's house.
Have you had any drama with them?
No, haven't had no drama, haven't talked to them, but I know that Trish and Amanda has been spreading these lies about me for years, all my younger years and everything. These horrific lies they've been spreading all this time.
What were they?
Well, Trish and Amanda first come out saying that I raped them for 7 years, and I told them that if they told anybody, I would kill them. So they've been telling everybody these lies for all these years. Plus, I molested my first set of kids, and I can't remember what else. So they've been telling people all these lies for all these years.
So I have to ask you a few questions. Did you rape your sister?
No,
Did you rape your niece?
no,
Did you molest your first set of children?
no.
Did you threaten to kill him?
I can give you my kids' number, and we can talk when this is done,
Sure, sure,
and we'll talk to them.
sure.
Did you threaten to kill him?
No. And they already admitted on tape that it was all BS already, Trish and Amanda both,
Okay.
and Jeannie.
Yeah, if you had any involvement, you could
It's
talk
all on
about
tape. I feel like this whole thing, my stepsisters could be behind this with these horrific lies and everything else. And maybe they believed my daughter was in danger. Maybe they actually believe this. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I wished I did.
So you're saying they may have her, keeping her safe. What do you believe?
I don't know. This is just one of the theories that I have. And the way that everything played out with Chris McDonough, YouTube, Facebook, all these people attacking us, making us the guilty party. Trish ran with that lie for 70 days before she made it right. Plenty of time to get out of the area or whatever with my daughter.
Did Candace have baggage or drama with your sisters?
Never. Don't even know them.
Okay.
And they don't know us. They've never contacted us, didn't get to know us, don't know what we're about or anything else. And why they would spread these kind of lies about me all these years and get that my side of the family hating me, even my own father not wanting to be around me and stuff. Why?
What's he saying?
They don't believe him at all. He don't want to be around them because he's afraid they're going to do something to him.
Yeah.
Does he talk to you?
Yeah, he talks to me.
What does he think is going on?
He thinks they're conniving, no good, lying, little, you know what.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So,
Also, you can go back. You know, when I had my first set of kids and I was in Utah, they called my POs on me constantly. They called the cops on me constantly. Called the damn welfare on me constantly. We never had a chance.
yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. I'm sorry dealing with that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Anything else you want to add about it?
Just the history of that kind of abuse, when I'm calling everybody on me and everything else. Is it possible that they're behind my summer being gone? I think it is.
It's a hell of a lot of stress, man.
I mean, when you got Chris McDonough coming in the picture saying, well, I was 3,000 miles away, blah, blah, blah. But he shows up out of the blue and believes all these lies, straight lies that Hunter and Allie's telling him. Really? Wow.
That's a lot of stress, man. It's
Yeah.
in the middle of some of the worst drama you can have in your life. All that stress. I'm sorry you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
So
We
let's.
appreciate you coming and talking.
Yeah.
you.
No, we really do appreciate you being here. Thank you
Sir,
so much.
Thank you, guys.
So let's say if somebody says, "I think I saw her. I think I've got an idea what happened." Who should they contact and talk to give them information?
Yeah, how do they pass on the information if they think they see someone?
1-800-TBI-FIND.
1-800-TBI-FIND?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other, or the web pages or anything else done that people
I think there's some out there, but I'd go with the 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll make sure we put a good picture,
Yeah.
whichever
Okay,
picture
I
you want.
appreciate that. I think Wednesday, what's his name? Walsh.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He's got something
John
John Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good
Wednesday.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
So
I think he
he's-
does good work.
He's going to
Yeah.
have something for summer Wednesday.
Good.
Okay, wonderful.
Cool, yeah.
What about, so David getting married, the preacher?
No, David Dawson got married.
He's the one that converted to Baptist.
Yeah,
Right.
with
What I'm
that
saying
girl.
is Dave Dodson, not Dave
He's not the
Dodson,
preacher.
Dave, the
He
other
was a
Dave.
pastor, yeah.
Yeah, now, because we want to get him for that, his flute part.
No, that's Dave Dodson, the flute guy, right?
Okay, I'm confused. Is
Oh,
that-
yeah, Dave Dawson's the flute guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's the one you're a little suspicious of?
Sir?
You're a little suspicious of him?
Well, I mean, it's the way that he appeared on the scene. Summer got gone, and then he started taking our boys, to help us, and he'd be at our house and trying to help us out and everything. And then he got with that girl, and now he's in.
So he just
some
showed
other
up that day.
Well, not that day. He got to know Summer a little bit. I guess when they was out with Robin or whatever. See, I don't know because I was always at work.
Right.
Yeah.
But we will definitely check into that.
Are there any pictures of him with her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, those would be nice to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Was
All right, I'll send them to you.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
So was he? When he showed up, what was he saying? Was he like wanting to know how the investigation was going and all that, or what was he saying?
That's a good question. He just like wanted to help out. It was like his mission from, I don't know if David sent him or not, the other David, but he was there. He brought us pizza, and well, Robin was too. They brought us pizza and was trying to help out. And there for a long time, the police wouldn't even let him on the property, and they wouldn't let nobody on the property. I had the roadblock.
When was the last time you saw that guy?
It's been a while.
He hasn't called or anything anymore.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife.
Yeah.
She has this
I'd be
number.
interested in knowing, like I
Yeah.
said, I'd love to see pictures of him with
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just got to be really careful,
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
I was talking to somebody earlier. I've lived in a lot of places all over the country, following construction and stuff like that. And I noticed when things go down in a lot of places, there's not going to be no drug activity. There's not going to be, everything's going to be shut down until they get what they want.
Right.
But here in Tennessee, it's just another day. And I thought,
Why do
that
you
was-
think? Why do you think that?
Well, because the drug activity and everything still goes on, everything. Some places I've lived, they're going to shut them down, and ain't nothing happening until they get the answers they want, and then they might let them, let them have their so-called life back or whatever.
Right.
But here in Tennessee, it hasn't changed the drug activity. And that should be all over them, in my opinion.
Right.
That's where I want to go.
What kind of stuff was he? Was he giving her gifts and stuff, Dave?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. I mean, he was just swinging her around a little bit and got to know her. I mean, I don't
do you mean
believe.
swinging her
I don't
around?
believe he done anything. But we'll
Yeah, it's worth a look.
Was
Right,
he picking her up and stuff? You
absolutely.
mean?
swinging her around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Worth a look. Anybody that close to you is worth a look.
Right, for sure.
What else? What else is he doing to make you feel weird about him, like that when he's picking her up?
Everybody else brought it to my attention that they feel funny about him, and I was
Who else?
like, well, who else? I don't know.
Other people, though, you said did bring it to your attention?
Like people on Facebook and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Nobody.
Not somebody close to you.
family, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Not somebody close to you.
Yeah.
The boys felt all right with him?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we let them take them to the putt-putt golf
Right.
and everything, and they took pictures, and everybody commented, like Facebook,
Yeah,
tore
yeah,
that
good.
apart. And so
But you,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
you
just-
do feel iffy about him. You're just not sure.
I don't think he would, but it's worth a look, like you said.
Right, just anybody close to you,
check
Don, I
into
mean,
it
just
for
be
sure.
careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Anything else you would just want to tell us that you have forgotten, or the what else is the most powerful thing that often we forget? Hey, there's this little thing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
But I just.
I'm not going to beat you up to get information. I'm just
Yeah,
never
I'm-
trying to.
my-
No reason to beat yourself up.
The two main theories that I have is my stepsisters and their side of the family causing, with these horrific lies, would that cause somebody to act to save my daughter?
Right.
I believe it would.
Right. And you don't have any kind of internet traffic or anything that would make people think that you've done anything?
Well, now Candace did put a lot of stuff on TikTok, and that's a possibility that she was targeted off of TikTok.
Okay. Don, we really appreciate you
I
making
appreciate
it.
y'all very much.
I really
God
do. I'm
bless y'all.
sorry it got all. But we,
This is a great example of us working collaboratively. Whether there are one or two of us on the ground, it's all four of us. So anytime you get one of us, you get us all.
Yeah. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. And all you got to do is hit that little red button down there. It says subscribe on it, and that little bell, and it'll let you know when we have something new come out.
Michelle, no van a hacer, no sé,